Year continues at UH, so does the wait for the naming of a new athletic director to replace Herman Frazier, a casualty, so to speak, of the June Jones departure, among other highly publicized issues. According to University of Hawaii officials, the reviewing process for applicants can begin Thursday. However, a selection committee has yet to be formally introduced. The school won't release the number of applications it has received for the AD position to this point, but we talked to several distinguished Hawaii coaches about the qualities they feel the final selection should have.
He's got to be a guy that's going to take us from a good program to a great program. And that individual's got to be a guy that sees the big picture.
You know, he's got to be able to rally the community behind the department. He's got to be able to rally the administrators here at UH, at Upper Campus.
I'd like to work together with him in things such as scheduling. He needs to be a decision maker, but he needs to know, he needs to realize what what the benefits are from everybody's programs.
Improving the facilities, improving the overall morale of the program, taking this program into a national realm by getting us back on TV and those kinds of things. And the next person that comes in is going to have to, shoulder those responsibilities.
And opinions aren't reserved just for those within the university system. Even the mayor of Honolulu, Mufi Hanneman, talked up a profile for the incoming athletic director when asked on a recent episode of Leahy and Leahy on PBS Hawaii.
It's amazing how many times that we have job openings here, and so let's do a worldwide search. And I think probably they need to borrow a page of what we did with Greg McMacken. I don't think they have to look very, I think there's some outstanding candidates right here in our local community that are proven, that are tested, and that's what we should go for. But I think they really have to understand what makes Hawaii so different and unique, and then be able to put athletics in the proper framework.
Now, here are just a few names circulating as far as possible candidates for the position. They are, in no particular order, Carl Clapp, currently the interim AD, who came to Hawaii last year following a stint as the athletic director at St. Mary's College in California. Jim Donovan, the executive director of the Hawaii Bowl, who served as an associate AD during the Hugh Yoshida administration at UH. And Rockne Freitas, currently the chancellor of Hilo Community College, who was an associate athletic director with the late Stan Sheriff in the 80s before being then elevated to UH vice president for university relations. The UH Board of Regents will be counted on for final approval, as well as the salary for the incoming AD. Chancellor Virginia Hinshaw says she hopes to fill the position within the next 3 to 4 weeks.
During the Pro Bowl yesterday, Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Jeff Garcia threw a touchdown pass to Terrell Owens of the Cowboys, two our former 49er teammates. In the days leading up to the game, we talked with Garcia, getting his thoughts on the future of former UH All-American Colt Brennan. I hope you're all having a pleasant evening. Jeff Garcia is a San Jose State alum, a WAC foe for Hawaii, so he's familiar with the exploits of former Warriors QB Colt Brennan, who, like Garcia experienced, faces much criticism leading up to April's NFL draft. But Garcia believes Colt's got the goods to make it in the league.
Well, Colt had a tremendous season, and it looks like he has the tools to play at the next level. Well, I think that he is tremendously accurate, seems to be a very smart kid, understands the game well. You can't replace or excuse what he has done at the collegiate level. I mean, he's broken every single record that's been set out there, and now it's just a matter of him taking his game to the next level. Not really relying upon what he did at the collegiate level. Hopefully that opens the door for him at the next level. But now to build on what he needs to do in order to be a good pro football quarterback. And part of that is getting into the rhythm of what they do at the professional level. He won't be in the shotgun as much as he was in college. He'll have to adapt and adjust in that sort of way. But I think he's very capable of doing it.
And Brennan, like Garcia says he did, should ignore critics who said he was too lean, weighing just 185 pounds at the Senior Bowl.
I can't afford to focus on what I don't have. But what I can do is focus on what I have within myself. And I'm not the 6'3", 6'4", 220-pound quarterback with the rocket arm. But I know that I mentally can do smart things on the field. And physically, I have enough athletic ability and enough follow-through to make those things happen when I do make decisions.
Brennan has picked up weight the last few weeks, nearing Garcia's stature of 6'1", 205 pounds.
Warrior football was the agenda for the Honolulu Quarterback Club today. All three of the guests make up the newest members of Greg McMackin's staff.
And actually it's a little nostalgic being back in this room, just because my freshman year playing here, this was actually the hotel that we stayed at for all of our home games at the Pagoda.
Memories of the past are part of Brian Smith's new beginning with the Warriors. He now hopes to lead the offensive line just as it was when he played.
But I can just tell you that we will be very fundamentally sound. And you know, I'm hoping to bring back an offensive line play that you guys were used to seeing when Coach Kavanaugh was here.
Smith now teams up again with Nick Rolovich. The new QB coach, who's still a record holder in Hawaii history, knows the run and shoot as well as anyone. Rolo says while it may be hard to notice, this year's offensive playbook will have its share of changes.
I mean, they'll look the same, but for the quarterbacks and receivers, there was sometimes they didn't expect to get the ball, and now they're going to be an option. The players inside have to know that they're expecting these balls that maybe in the past years, you know, you could kind of, you know, you're more of a decoy type guy. Now, if this option happens now, it's going to be this year we'll see that ball thrown.
Dave Aranda's introduction to the Warrior staff comes with some new coaching material. He's installed some modern tools the Warriors can relate to.
Multimedia to speak to them. So whether that's music or video clips or what do you say, quotes. There's like Seinfeld quotes, whatever we can put into teaching those guys, the better.
Dallas.
Well, more than a month has passed since June Jones left Hawaii for Texas. However, the former coach's actions can still affect the Warriors, with both teams running such similar offenses. For every player June signs, that's possibly one less player to put on a Warrior jersey. Plus, being in Dallas, June's ability to get playmakers is that much larger.
It's kind of interesting. There's so many kids in this immediate area, like the number of DVDs and number of tapes that kids are sending. My right-hand lady, Terry, she gets as many one day as she used to get in 2 weeks.
But Jones says that's not the only change he's seen after leaving Paradise for the Big D. He's also gone from a team that went to a Sugar Bowl to one who hasn't made a bowl since 1984. When the Mustangs played in the Aloha Bowl.
It just looked like they needed a football guy, they needed a football coach to get it done on the field, and hopefully I can be that guy. And when it is, I think you know, we'll all look back on it 20 years later and say, wow, that was a lot of fun.
Looking back 7 years this month, Jones miraculously survived a car wreck which nearly killed him. Since that accident, Jones has turned his attention to not only winning, but changing his players' lives.
I appreciated, you know, probably even a little more the opportunity to affect the players that I coach, not just in football, but, you know, kids that are struggling, kids that have, you know, maybe less fortunate than some others, to be able to influence them and give them maybe the things they need to be successful in life, not just on the field, but in the locker room and off. And I don't know, I just feel like that's what I was called to do.
Now there's only one thing left for Jones to change.
Getting sleep. I haven't been able to do that.
And he probably won't get any for a while. Well, despite that rush recruiting, Jones signed 28 new players, touching on every position except running back and kicker. Interestingly enough, according to Scouts.com, SMU's recruiting class ranked 89th in the country, while UH is ranked 91st. And don't forget, Coach Mack started 2 weeks after Jones. Jason Tang, K5 News.